Kate was born back in 2006. She was our first child. At the moment of birth, she suffered from a seizure from something that we'd never heard of, a mitochondrial-related disease. Kate was very sick and spent a lot of time in Children's Hospital. And she unfortunately passed away after 7.5 months. We, of course, miss her dearly, but have been blessed with 4 very healthy, energetic children subsequent to Kate's passing.
Mitochondrial disease is a disease that affects not only Calvin, but our entire family. It affects Caden and Audrey, who are his siblings. Caden's 9 years old and Audrey is 7 years old. And they have never known anything different other than mitochondrial disease with Calvin.
Bryson has an older brother, Forrest, that is 5.5 years older. Bryson and Forrest are great buddies. They won't admit it to each other at all. If Forrest is away to college and Bryson is at home now, and if you ask Bryson if he misses Forrest, he will not admit that he misses Forrest, but you know deep down he does.
Kate was gone before our other children were born. However, they're still very much aware that she is part of our family. The other kids refer to her as Baby Kate, and we'll sometimes ask to go and see Baby Kate, which means a trip up to the cemetery to visit her.
And the kids love to take balloons. They will talk about her and, wonder what she's like, but it's just a good opportunity to remember her and to talk about her as part of our family.
They know that while she's not here, they love her and miss her. They tell us this regularly and out of the blue. But they say, don't worry, Mummy and Daddy, we know you love her, and we do too, but she's just watching over us from heaven. It's okay. Very touching, very beautiful, and I guess in the black and white world of children, that's a fine thing to hear.
When Bryson was first diagnosed, he was in Children's Hospital for 3 months. We came on a Friday, and that Monday he had a lung hemorrhage and was put into ICU, put on life support. We live in northern Idaho, and so that made it difficult for our family because Forrest was in 3rd grade and he still needed to go to school. Forrest had gone home that weekend, and we had to call him early the next morning and tell him that we didn't think Bryson was going to survive and we needed to get him back. I can't imagine being told something like that.
As I'm growing up, I have to worry about getting a job, maybe starting a family, getting my own home, and then on top of that, I have to think about Bryson as well and where he's gonna be at the same time as I am. Because after a time, your parents are gone and they aren't gonna be able to help you out anymore, and Bryson's still gonna need someone to help him. I wouldn't change Bryson for the world, because he's a goofball and he'll drive me insane, but you just gotta love him. Just everything he does both will grate at your nerves and just make him endearing, so no, I wouldn't change anything about him.
So Calvin, in his lifetime, he's 5 years old, in his lifetime he's had about 20 emergency admissions. And with each admission that he's had, he's been in the hospital, can be up to 2 weeks at a time. Every time that happens and we're in that crisis, Caden and Audrey are affected greatly. While we do our best to make life as normal as we can for them during that time, it's just not possible. Our focus really is on Calvin and getting him well, and unfortunately that takes a big toll on Caden and Audrey. Their schooling's affected, their activities are affected, friendships are affected, they're affected emotionally. The stress that they endure from watching their brother go through that and seeing that crisis as it's starting and as it's evolving.
We're trying to help Calvin, and we look over and Tricia notices Audrey's just ashen and sobbing because she doesn't know what's going on with her little brother. She's terrified. And, to see the kind of emotion that the other kids have around their little brother, it's amazing to us.
I think it's in those moments that we have our hardest conversations. We have been asked, is my brother gonna die? And that's a hard thing to answer, because we tell them, well, everybody does at some point. And we tell them that we're working very hard, and his doctors are working extremely hard to make sure that that doesn't happen today.
Yeah, what it just it hits you in the gut sometimes that they want this as bad as we do. They want their little brother to not be sick anymore and to find a cure. So this disease is as awful as it is, and as much as it hangs over our family, sorry, it also brings out the best in our kids.